Who's in the house? Just going on my morning walk. I thought I'd bring some friends along. Thanks for the like. Oh, I'm walking through cobwebs. Have I gone the wrong way already? Possibly. Is my sound okay, please? A few people joining in. Welcome to the stream. Just my morning walk. How's everyone doing? How's everyone doing? Where you're at? Where are you at? And how is my sound? How's my sound? Johnny Mayon, Sergeant Mayon, morning to you. How are you doing? What are you up to today? And how's my sound doing? Is it okay? It's often a bit bad over here. Bobby in the house, all hunky-dory. Thank you. And thanks for the kiss. Mwah. How's everyone doing today? What are you up to this fine Sunday? And where are you in the world? Johnny, sounds fine. Plan on doing very little, rainy in Plymouth. I've been to Plymouth before. I remember all the ships. I was a wee lad. Yeah, don't blame you. It gets a bit naff when it's raining, doesn't it? I don't think that I'm going to stay in Britain. I mean, I'll probably come back for the summers. Vegan Pothead, good to see you, lovely. Hi, Hench, I'm good, thanks. How are you? Yeah, really good, really good. I just thought I'd take some friends on my morning nature walk. I should have brought a drink with me. Angry vegan, hello to you. How you doing, my friend? What's everyone else up to today? Oh, 14 peeps, that's pretty good. It's building up. Do you guys like a nature walk? I find it really resets me, replenishes me. Love a bit of it. Sometimes get a few squirrels around these here parts. What the hell's going on there with that tree? That's weird. That's really weird. Pothead's just got to go to Tesco. G'day Tesco. No doubt there's one just next door to you. Guys, best foods for post-workout recovery. If you're eating immediately after a workout, you don't really want too much in the way of fat there, because it's going to slow down nutrient absorption, it's going to slow digestion. So go low on fats. You want a little bit to absorb the fat-soluble nutrients. But I would go with high carb, moderate protein, just whole plant foods in general, really. I just eat whatever. It'd be legumes, whole grains, a lot of fruit, some veggies, just a tiny bit of nuts and seeds, not too much straight after a workout. Yeah, and just in whatever form you favour, really. You want some fruits and veg in there for the antioxidants. There's a little squirrel. I don't know if you can see him. No, he's gone. But yeah, that'd be my advice. If you do protein shakes, maybe you can have a protein shake directly post-workout, a little fruit. If you're having that at the gym and then eating when you get home, that'd be a good strategy as well. What up, dog? I love nature. We've recently been lucky enough to purchase our own woodlands. No, wow. You and Gemma should come and see it. We would love to. Whereabouts are you? Ah, that's amazing. No, I would be well up for a bit of that. Nice one. Eduardo, Hello, I'm a new follower of you. Well, first of all, thank you for your support, my friend, and welcome to the channel. Nice to have you. How do you combine cardio and body weight and strength training, basically? So alternate days, I think, is probably ideal. If you're training more often than that, I would say I would do weights AM, cardio PM, ideally. If you do have to do them in the same session, well, I say weight, so it's body weight in your case, isn't it? But resistance training, AM, cardio PM. And then if you are forced or you prefer to do it in one session, I would say always the resistance training before the cardio. So, well, I think the one proviso would be if, depending on your sport, if you were more of an endurance athlete, then I would do your endurance work first. But for the masses, you know, when you're strength training, you're trying to build a bit of muscle typically. And so, you know, to innovate the muscle fibers, you want to have a good supply of glycogen. And then, you know, a lot of people oftentimes, cardio-wise, they're trying to burn some body fat, aren't they? And so, well, we've got an obstacle. And so once you've done your weight training, you've burned off your glycogen to lift your weights. So then you're more likely to tap into your fat stores. And yeah, so that'll be more efficacious for fat burn. So the only time I do that the other way around is in the instance of, you know, the endurance part, the cardio being more important to you. And then I think there's an argument for doing it the other way around. But ideally, I'll do it in separate sessions. You know, post-workout, we're then talking about post-workout nutrition. Your body's set up to replenish. So say you are doing cardio after your weights. Well, your muscles were primed to recover, but now you're extending the session. The feed's going to take longer. It's not optimal, is what I'll say. It's all right, you know, it's certainly better than nothing. And it's good to do a bit of both. You know, we want strong muscles and bones from the resistance training. We want strong heart and lungs. So whatever you can manage. But ideally, I would do them separately. Great question, Eduardo, and welcome. Pothead recently lost 4 kilos. Nice. And you're eating more whole plant foods. So is it a case that you ate the more plant foods and released the weight more easily? So, you know, was it almost effortless, just the fact that you're kind of eating better? There's a little toad here now. There's a toad by the pond. There's loads of new carvings in our park. How cool is that? I love him. Scars, ideal protein intake while main gaining. So that's the idea that you're in a minor caloric surplus. So hopefully you're just building muscle, not really putting any slop on. So you're basically in a caloric surplus. So therefore you do not need as much protein as if you're doing a total recomp, you know, where you're trying to maintain your body weight, or a cut, you know, where you're losing body weight but trying to maintain your muscle. In those instances, you need more like 2 grams of protein per kilo of leanish body weight per day to be optimal. Why is everything overgrown today? Nature's outpacing the park keeper, I think. Where was I? Oh yeah, and then, yeah, but if you're in a caloric surplus, carbohydrate is protein sparing, so you don't need as much protein. So more like 1.6 grams of protein per kilo of leanish body weight per day would be optimal. You wouldn't really need any more than that. Certainly not 2 grams like on a cut or a recomp. Eliza's in the hizzy. Check out her channel. How you doing, Eliza? What are you up to today? Word up, dog. Is based in North Yorkshire. Nice. I've not been to North Yorkshire. It looks beautiful. My wife runs a meditation and Reiki plant-based retreats. Wow. From woodland, forest bathing and reconnecting with nature that the humans seem to have lost. Ain't that the truth? Well, if maybe if you're up for it, maybe if there's some kind of scope for us to come and do some sort of promo for you, if you think it's beneficial, yeah, maybe we could come and see you at some point, because we would love a bit of that. Errol, do you wear any sun protection when outside? Clothes, hat, sun cream? Well, to be honest, in this country, you don't need it very often. Rarely. I normally manage my sun exposure so that I get a good tan. I rarely ever burn. If I was to be stuck out in it, then I would do those. I wouldn't use sun cream, I don't think, unless there was a really good natural one. But yeah, certainly sun hat and clothes and things. Yeah, like a natural sun cream without any nasty chemical additives. But the need for that is very few and far between, sadly. Seems really very autumnal here already. Liam, morning Paul, love a nature walk. Nice. Do you know any good foods, drink, snacks for fighting off cold? Not really. To be honest, we already know, don't we? It's your produce, it's your, vitamin C rich foods, zinc rich foods, garlic, like your allium vegetables, but it's not really where it's at. I don't think you can really make much of an odds once you've got it, to be honest. It's really the prevention. The main thing I understand is not losing out on sleep. That's huge. Not running yourself ragged. But yeah, I suppose, I would just up your produce. I don't think there's any great supplements really, as far as I know. Some people say echinacea if it's really high strength, good quality, but I think the science is a bit iffy. What was I going to say? Oh, I'll tell you what would be beneficial is things that raise your adrenaline and epinephrine, because these boost the immune system. So it's actually things like cold therapy, so like cold showers, like ice baths, which sounds counterintuitive if you've got a cold, doesn't it? And then breath work, like the Wim Hof style stuff where you're doing the forced breaths and then you're holding for as long as you can. Breathe in, hold for 15 seconds and then repeat, and you do several rounds of that. And these kind of stressors, they really, as I say, they're really small epinephrine. Yeah, and that epinephrine adrenaline, like in large amounts, chronic rays, that like knackers your immune system, but like just short bursts, as I say, cold therapy, HIIT training if you're feeling well enough. Probably not when you've got a cold, that's not ideal. But these things will boost your immune system. So yeah, I say, it's going to sound counterintuitive, I say cold showers and ice baths and breath work. So what's the minimum healthy fat intake for a 70 kilos male? I don't know that we've got science on it. We need 3.2 grams of ALA as a minimum. And then you can get away with about 3 or 4x that in omega-6, and you do need some omega-6. It's essential, although it is pro-inflammatory, but some is essential. But other than that, I don't know that there's really science on it. I like to see people get at least about 30 grams a day. I do worry about hormonal production. Fats are the building blocks of like cholesterol and things, or steroid hormones, particularly. So yeah, but I don't know that there's really science. I think there might be an equation somewhere. I don't know if the World Health Organization's got one. I think there may be some, but for most people, you're going to be probably hitting it like regardless, unless you're eating a really extreme, like fruit only diet or something like that. I would imagine. Yeah, don't quote me. There may be a magic formula somewhere, point something per kilo. I don't know. That might be worth Googling. I might look at that when I get home. Actually, I'm going to give you guys bum advice. Mick C, happy Sunday to you. What's the plan? So me and Gemma are doing a really big talk. We've got a few months to prepare for it, but it's going to be a massive talk in front of our biggest ever audience. So we really want to get good at that. So I've got to finish writing that, done most of it, drill that a little bit. We've also got to finish a questionnaire for a interview for Vegan Life magazine. And then, live stream tonight on Vegan Mooncat's channel, 6 p.m. To do with like ex-vegans or anti-vegans. So, yeah, so I'm not planning on making much kind of content today in terms of videos or whatever. But, yeah, just odds and ends today. Yeah, I'm really good, Eliza. Thank you, darling. You're doing a sit-ups challenge during October. To raise money for the charity Shelter. They help homeless people around the UK. Well, that can't be true because vegans don't care about humans. We only care about animals, is what I keep getting told. I joke, of course. Oh, that's fantastic, Eliza. Bless your heart. That's very nice. And how many are you planning on doing? And also, I just walked past my new friend. I was just going to show you my new friend. I don't think I've showed him on stream yet. He's a new addition to the park. Look who it is. He's good, isn't he? I like his talons. Nice. Guys, what are the most antioxidant dense foods I can throw in a smoothie right now? Amla powder and blueberries. Amla powder is the top one. Whatever else you put in your smoothie, if you're doing a teaspoon of amla, that's probably smashed it. Blackberries are good. Blueberries are good. Blackberries are better. Acai berries are the best in terms of berries. You can put a bit of mint in there. That's the most antioxidant rich herb. You could put some green tea leaves or matcha. That's very good. Don't put Chinese green leaves though, because they are full of lead, I think. Any herbs and spices really, they're particularly good. Yeah, your berries, as you've said. Yeah, not much else springs to mind really. Hibiscus, you could cold brew some hibiscus petals overnight. So hibiscus is the most antioxidant rich tea, and so you have a bright red colour. It's often the base for a lot of fruit teas. They put hibiscus in there for the deep colour. And of course, the more colourful something is, oftentimes, the colours are... Hello! The colours are the antioxidants. So, yeah. So when you pick your produce, pick the brightest, deepest coloured, like darkest stuff. Brightest and darkest, that didn't seem to make sense. You know what I mean? Most colourful, most colour dense. Edward in the hizzy, how you doing, my friend? Herb Evans, unfortunately the National Rugby League Grand Final is on now, second half just starting. I'll be back if you're still here. Well, I'll probably be going for another 40 minutes or so, so I'm not sure how long a rugby game is, but I might not see you. But anyway, thanks for dropping in. Ray Carlo, keep doing what you're doing, bro. Bless you, educating the non-vegans and vegans about proper nutrition. Thank you, my friend. I really appreciate the love. How are you doing? Where in the world are you? How's the vegan scene there? And that's an interesting name you got. I'm wondering where you're at. Millennial Vegan is in the house from New Zealand. Wow. How's the vegan scene where you are? I'm interested. Hey, Angharad. So Sergeant Angharad. She also has a YouTube channel, so do subscribe to her. How did I didn't see your video. Did you do your blackberry, speaking of blackberries, blackberry crumble video? How did that turn out? Oh, god damn. So guys, would eating higher carbs negate any possible negative health effects from eating low fat like carbs do with let me try and get my head around this. I'm not sure what you're saying. Would eating higher carbs negate any possible negative health effects of eating low fat like carbs do with protein? So carbs are protein sparing. If you're trying to build muscle and you don't eat adequate protein, like some of your adequate carbs, so your protein will get burned as fuel. So I think that's what you're talking about there. But I'm not sure what the rest of it is, but no, it wouldn't. There's no similar mechanism as far as I know. Your high carbs are getting low fat. So one possible negative of eating very low fat is you wouldn't absorb like the carotenoids, vitamins D, E and K. So no, like for instance, that wouldn't be negated. So you do need some fat there. I would say at any given meal, I mean, and if you're eating whole foods, you'll probably get it anyway. I'd say at least about 3 grams of fats to ensure your, fat soluble vitamins. But then, like, if you're only eating one meal and you just ate 3 grams for the whole day, that wouldn't be a good look either. So, don't go mega low. I think lower fat, luckily, is healthier on the scale of things. Like, I don't know, 15%, maybe 10% if you're eating like a good amount of calories. It's the total fat's not really the percentage of fat that's important, because that can vary how much you're getting based on the amount of calories. I think I've answered that. 100 sit-ups a day, nice. Nice. Vegan power. Oh, and you've got a fundraiser page on your Facebook. And is that Eliza the Vegan on Facebook, or how do people find you on there? I wouldn't share the link, because I think YouTube don't like that, but do share your name on there. Kelly Maddock, how you doing? General Maddock. Plant-based goons. Hangout, video turned out great, and the best part, it tasted great too. Well, that certainly helps, doesn't it? That certainly helps. Very good. Kelly, I'm currently back in education, so I can get my degree in dietetics. Nice. My absolute dream career is to become a plant-based dietitian. Well, that's what the world needs, isn't it? Very good, Kelly. Very good. I'm impressed. I think you'll love it, Obviously, I've been in a similar career. Well, I'm still using that kind of knowledge. And, I have people all the time messaging me saying, oh, I've reversed this disease. My husband's off these meds. Thank you. It's so rewarding, isn't it? To feel like you're being of service and actually helping people. Like, that's the nicest feeling. So I think you're going to love it. So guys, you talk about eating different colours of food for different antioxidants. I put bananas, mangoes, blues and greens and almond. Any other colours I should get? So you've got orange there, you've got greens. To be honest, you've probably got a good mix there. You've got anthocyanins, they're red to purple pigments. Anthocyanin is red or pink or purple or red, depending on what kind of, if it's in an acid or a base sort of environment, so, or neutral. So, yeah, I think you're doing pretty well there, really. Yellow, orange, red, these are your carotenoids, so you don't necessarily need all those at every meal, But yeah, greens are very good. They have chlorophyll and carotenoids. So, no, it sounds like you're doing good. Yeah, just eat as many colours as you can throughout the day. But that sounds awesome. Stuff like mushrooms, which is sort of white and brown, that doesn't sound very colourful, and like cauliflower being sort of white, don't sound so colourful, does it? But it has, it has sulforaphane. Like mushrooms have unique micronutrients that are not even found in the plant kingdom. So, yeah, really, it's just eating as wide a variety of things as you can think of, really. Yeah, that's the best tactic. Look at this kind of climbing frame. This like a natural climbing frame. I love it. Eliza Rose on Facebook. So go and do some donations, people, or there'll be trouble. And I'll know if you haven't. 26 peeps in there, that's pretty good. So anyone who's not commented yet, what are you guys up to today? So guys, would it be better eating mangoes over bananas for more antioxidants? I think bananas are low. Yeah, bananas are fairly low, but then they may be higher in something else that mangoes aren't. The best thing really is to eat a range of foods. I wouldn't go mental on one food just because it has more of a certain nutrient. Yeah, I would eat a good range. But yeah, bananas, they're a bit lackluster really. As far as we know, they're pretty lackluster. People think of them for potassium, but actually they're, relatively speaking, they're pretty low in potassium. There's this USDA list of the most potassium rich foods, and bananas I think came in 1611th after Reese's Pieces, which of course are a junk food and completely horrible for antioxidants. So yeah, I don't know where we got that idea from. Probably some nefarious marketer trying to make money. Eliza shared the link on Discord. Nice. Here's another friend. He's cute, isn't he? Bernie is in the house. Calling to say hi. Hi to you, my friend. How are you doing? I hope you're keeping well. Good to see you. What are you up to today? Where shall I go now? Kelly just got back from the gym, leg day. My quads are currently crying. Yep. You know you've had a good day when you can't walk up the stairs and then you don't want to like get off the toilet and things like that. Like, why do we do it to ourselves, Kelly? Why do we do it? I just don't know. Crazy, crazy. So next month, so the start of November, we should have our new book out, Speedy Vegan. So it's all like quick to prepare recipes. It's all batch recipes, so you can save some in the fridge, some in the freezer for later. I think the biggest, one of the biggest objections people have to whole foods, plant-based nutrition, is that they don't have time to cook. So we've done this cookbook now to prove that we really do. It's just, is it a priority or not? You know? So, yeah, that's out in just under a month's time, hopefully. I think we've got, oh, well, that's right. I think we've got a meeting. Oh, no. Oh, it moved to Monday. We've got a meeting tomorrow, I think, with Goji Man's wife, Emma. And she's our graphic design artist for the book. So, yeah, we're really getting there. Is that another sculpture? Or is that just a bit of a tree? I think that's a sculpture. Oh, yeah, it's a woodpecker. I've not seen that one before. Let's go around there. So, guys, if I combine oats with fruits, will the oats slow the digestion of the fruits digest separately? Oh, God, I'm walking through mud. Because I want my muscles quickly after a workout. Yeah, it will slow it down to a degree. One strategy would be to have a little fast digesting fruit with a protein shake, like immediately, and then like within about an hour, then have your oats and stuff. But really and truly, it probably won't really make any clinical difference, truth be told. I think that's the current thinking, really. Oh, oh, this is nice, isn't it? So, are these woodpeckers? These look like woodpeckers. So there's like a couple there, and there's one, is he like a little baby one in the hole? Ah, not seen that before. That's very cool. Ah, lovely. I must remember to show that to Gemma. Right, where shall I go now? Simon, ever searched for mushrooms over there? Should be a great spot. No, I mean, I don't know how to identify them for one thing. And also, this is a dog park, so they're probably covered in dog's piss. But, yeah, you're right. I mean, I have seen a lot of mushrooms. Yeah, I have seen a lot. G'day, Connor. How you doing, my friend? Are you down there in Oz? Because this is the only time of day I ever get Australian people in my stream, and it's good to see you all. If indeed you are Australian. Jan Cockle. Hey, Hench, if you had the desire, where would you most likely want to move to? I don't know, really. I mostly want to travel, to be honest. I mostly want to travel. It looks as though we're going to be moving somewhere quite sunny. It'll be a few months from now, but that looks like the first stop is going to be somewhere quite sunny. I'm not really allowed to say too much about it because it's this new business venture. But yeah, we're going somewhere a bit more sunny and exciting. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that, really. Yeah, that's because it's got so miserable hair, I kind of can't wait to get on with it. So yeah, I've got this sunny environment in mind. After that, I think we'll be moving to London and possibly Greenwich, which is, if you saw our vlog, we went and had a look there. It's really beautiful. Really beautiful. It's like a village, like just on the out. I mean, it is London, but it's like a village that's just outside there. It seems like, you know, you wouldn't think it was London. Really gorgeous, beautiful park. There's like deer and foxes and all kinds in the park there. I've just found another one of these sculptures. Would you call this a sculpture? A carving, I suppose you'd say. Little bugger, he's hurt a mouse. He's hurt a mouse. I don't like you. Interesting. But yeah, I would like to do some extensive travelling, and then I think I'd like to come back here for the summer, and the rest of the year, you know, I'd like to do some travelling and yeah, just maybe find somewhere which would be more drawn to live. I certainly want somewhere sunnier. You know, I want there to be lots of pristine nature around that you can visit. Good produce, vegan friendly, preferably English speaking, because I'm too lazy to learn another language. Guys, I would think combining oats with fruit would be healthier, as you wouldn't get any crash. Yeah, you're going to have slower digesting stuff. Yeah, people often talk about not mixing different foods, but, you know, you're not getting the benefit. Like, you're not getting the, what's that called when nutrients in one ingredient amplify the health benefits of nutrients in others? Food synergy? Yeah, I think it's always best to combine a few foods together. People used to say don't eat proteins with, like, carbs. What a load of nonsense. They think that you just release one enzyme at a time. The enzymes are there, you know. Silly. William Cooper, in the house. How you doing? Good morning, beautiful, lovely people. Morning to you. And Connor is from India. I would love to visit India. I love your cuisine and all the culture. You seem like very good people. He's good, isn't he? And he's good. Hi. Oh. So then, how do you handle haters or uninformed people trying to mock your decision? Just don't worry about it. I really couldn't care less. I know that veganism is amazing. I know whole foods plant-based nutrition is the healthiest, and I feel sorry for him. And I understand, you know, they're suffering. You know, They think that they are little badger. Hang on. You know, they think that they're kind people that would never harm an animal unnecessarily. Unfortunately, they are harming animals unnecessarily in the fact that I'm alive. My health's never been better. My blood markers, reversed my hay fever, reversed my hypertension. My eyesight's more than twice as strong, and I'm bigger and stronger than most people who say we need to eat meat for protein. So the fact that I'm alive causes them to suffer. Do you see what I mean? They're suffering cognitive dissonance. They're a kind person who would never harm an animal unnecessarily, except I'm saying you're harming animals unnecessarily. Look, hello, like I'm 50 years old, like I'm twice as big and strong as you, and I'm as healthy AF. So, you know, they're going to ridicule, they're going to attack. It's not that they're bad people. They were given bum advice years ago. So I just know that people are going to be like that, and I just don't let it negatively affect me. I try to educate. It would be easy, and I certainly was guilty of this early when I went vegan. If people were rude, aggressive, I would match it. Can you imagine that they're ever going to go vegan? No. So I try to not let it affect me. I try to match it. I try to meet it with love, with empathy, and I try to educate. You know, and when they tell me all this nonsense, I say, "Oh, show me your evidence for that." Like a assertion, you know, made without evidence can be dismissed without evidence. Here's my evidence. Here are 343 studies proving irrevocably that, you know, LDL from meat, you know, elevated serum LDL is the cause of the top disease and all cause of mortality. And these studies are, you know, top tier, like well defined, good quality studies, not funded by the industries that stand to profit from a favourable outcome. Now, show me equally or better evidence. Don't just show me one article or one study that was funded by the meat industry. Like, here's 343 studies, non-industry funded. And, you know, I'll just say, you know, I try not to be rude, but, you know, the intelligent thing to do, isn't it, is to look at the balance of available evidence and go with that. You know, not just one study that's funded by the industry that stands to profit from a favourable outcome. You know, those studies are 4 to 8 times more likely to do so. Like, they're so biased that you just can't trust them. So, yeah. So I try to be empathetic. I try to create rapport, to connect. You know, and sometimes people will be really rude. I'll be really polite and friendly back. And they may say, "I'm so sorry, I don't know why I felt the need to speak to you like that. Like, you're the bigger person for not rising to it." And, you know, you can have some lovely conversations. Some people aren't worth bothering with. I mean, some people's lives are they're suffering so much that they get enjoyment from causing others to suffer. And probably there's nothing you can say to ever talk them round. Or it would just take forever. You know, you're there 2 years back and forth. So I say, if someone's too much, if they're too rude, if it's obvious they're just enjoying being nasty, I mean, number one, particularly don't rise to it. But yeah, don't waste your time on them. You could be speaking to hundreds of other people who are more like low-hanging fruit and actually talking them round. So, yeah, that's my duty. And as for people being rude or aggressive about it, you know, to my face, never happens because they're always half my size. William, you could move to sunny West Island. It never rains here and averages 25 degrees all year round. Is that the truth? Is that the truth? I've never heard that before. I don't know if that's a wind-up. Liam, favourite band to listen to whilst working out and chilling? I don't listen to music while chilling. Well, I don't really chill. I'm mostly just working. I'm mostly making videos and content. The only time I really listen to music is when I'm working out. And it'll be some EDM, like probably dubstep, sometimes drum and bass, that kind of thing. Something quite like aggressive. Yeah, that's what I like. Used to be hip-hop years ago. I was actually a hip-hop DJ, I was into like scratching and stuff. But, you know, on the odd vinyls, if you can remember those back in the day. Yeah, and after watching your last video about bread, what would be your most recommended alternative? Something to spread avocados or hummus on. I mean, I think that Ezekiel bread looks pretty good. I mean, it's not like so floury. It's more like solid bits of grains and things. So yeah, I think some breads are pretty good, really. Like, you know, like a really good rye bread or something with all seeds in, you know. But it depends what type of bread you want. And I think, yeah, these real floury, like ones we've added like sugar and stuff, yeah, wouldn't go with those. But yeah, one of these more solid breads, I think they're all right. There is a recipe in our new Speedy Vegan cookbook for sweet potato toasts. So you basically thinly chop the sweet potatoes, cook them, and then use that, put toppings on them. So that would be probably your ultimate thing. Very slow burning, low GI, loads of carotenoids, loads of potassium, much more than in a banana. Yeah, those are great stuff. Tricky you, morning Hench. You watch Jerry Carbstrong's new video / campaign. No, I played it through, but I didn't look at it because I'm going to imagine there was a bit of suffering on there, and I'm just extremely empathetic, and it really wounds me. I just can't look at it. So what I do is play it so that he gets the benefit in the algorithm, but I don't look at it or listen to it so that I don't get mentally distressed and ill from it. And guys, if you could all do the same, that would probably really help him. Oh, there's a couple more carvings. Very nice. Scuzz, what do you think of animals that eat meat? I think that they're just acting as they have been. I don't know if I want to say designed or as they've evolved, but oh, do you mean, are you talking more like pets? Hang on, can't they just eat plants? Do they need meat to survive? Is it because there are limited plants around? No, there's not really limited plants. You know, 3/4 of animals are herbivorous, I believe. So, of course, more need to be herbivorous than carnivorous. If not, they'd all eat each other, I guess. But, yeah, no, many animals, of course, need DHA. They need taurine. They need arachidonic acid. So, basically, they do need to eat meat physiologically, like they're carnivorous or obligate carnivores. So, yeah, they have to, sadly. And it's really sad. I don't want to think of animals suffering. But I don't think it's not vegan to like wish them dead either, because they're animals. So that gets into some tricky territory. Scuzz, is it okay to work out fasted right in the morning? I eat a lot of avocado toast 3 hours before bed. Muscles have enough glycogen, do you think? Well, it depends on how many calories you've eaten and how much glycogen you need. I think I normally preach to fuel a workout, and I feel my best when I do so. I had one client who didn't do well having breakfast and then training. It always made him feel unwell, and I always hampered his workouts, and he was actually better off training fasted. So. But it depends, like your total glycogen stores. You know, you could be storing glycogen for like days potentially. So yeah, just eat enough calories like through the day, and they'll be storing up. TV video upload. Do you have your own Discord? I do have a Discord, but it's just for channel members and Patreons. How can people chat with you if they want to? They can come on here. Other than that, I just haven't got time. I haven't got time. I get so many DMs and bloody just thousands, and I don't have time. If I went to everyone else's agenda, I would have no time to work. You know, I remember this guy once commenting on a Earthing Ed video saying, "Oh, you never." Oh no, he was talking to me. He said, "Oh, he never answers my comments." And I think like he gets tens of thousands, probably millions of views a month or whatever, or certainly hundreds of thousands. Now, do you want him like answering everyone back to make them feel nice, or do you want him actually saving animals? Anyway, that's a bit of a side issue. That's probably nothing to do with all that while you're asking. Yeah, live streams. I do like usually about 4 live streams a week, so it's really on here if people want to chat to me. Business proposals, like business offers and things, yeah, email henchherbivore@yahoo.co.uk. But personal stuff, I just don't have the time. Anyway, right, but are you pro or anti coffee? I'm anti coffee for me. I'm pro coffee for anyone who wants to drink it. There's pros and cons. I'm a poor metabolizer of caffeine, and it causes me like anxiety and to feel unwell, and it makes me tired. Like it just sort of burns me out. Yeah, I don't like it. I mean, there are benefits. It's actually the most antioxidant rich thing that most Americans, it's where most Americans get the largest amount of antioxidants from, is what I'm trying to say. But that's not saying that coffee is great. It's saying that most Americans' diet is not exactly exemplary. There's toxins which harm good gut microbes, and that's really important. But then there's a reverse, what's the phrase? There's a reverse correlation between coffee drinking and suicide risk. I think up to 8 cups a day, there's like less chance of suicide according to the science. So that's quite interesting. It swings and roundabouts really, but it certainly displaces more nutritious things like green tea or matcha or hibiscus tea that you would have perhaps otherwise drunk. So yeah, not optimum, not too bad if you're a good metabolizer of caffeine and you're not drinking it too late, screwing up your sleep, because lack of sleep is actually carcinogenic. Yeah, the less you sleep, the more cancer prone you are. Yeah, and just in general, like Matthew Walker, he's this sleep expert. He's got a new book out. Can't remember what it's called. It might just be called Sleep. But he says that the less you sleep, the less you live. So yeah, don't let it affect your sleep. Steve Townshend. Oh, you were on there yesterday chatting, weren't you? Alternative to toast, I use raw portobello mushroom as the base. Make avocado toast instead of... Wow, that's interesting. Peter K, did you see that Mr. Charisma Storage is giving up YouTube? We can only hope. Well, what a shame. What a shame. He won't be giving it up. He'll just be... pouring on the sob story. Where will he get his free money from? Do you know what I mean? He's full of crap. He's just trying to be dramatic for the sake of attention. So 3.2 grams of omega-3 is ideal. Yeah, so I mean the science is not really there. I'll tell you where I got that 3.2 number from was Becoming Vegan, book by Davis and Molina. They're really good, like plant-based dietitians. So they're saying for a guy, probably 3.2 of ALA is probably a good RDA, like minimum to aim for. For a female, 2.2. Of course, if we've got a lot more mass, muscle mass, your needs may possibly be elevated, perhaps. I don't know. So then about 12.8 grams of omega-6. That sounds about right. Now, that amount will be less than the AI, than the sort of... so we don't know what is the true RDA. We don't actually know what the true RDA is for either, I don't think. Certainly omega-6 we don't. So most governments have taken a mean of like an average amount of omega-6 that most people eat in their country. But the trouble is those people are eating a horrible diet full of oils, which are high in omega-3, chicken, eggs, which is, chicken and eggs, which is high in omega-6. So basically, they're in a society where omega-6 deficiency doesn't present. Unfortunately, they're eating like tons of it, and it is pro-inflammatory. So yeah, we don't know. So if you look at the RDA on, say, Chronometer, it shouldn't say RDA, it should actually say AI, which is adequate intake, rather than recommended daily amount, which is a minimum for health. Where was I then going with all that? It may be a bit lower. So that 12.8 might be as much as half the recommended RDA. So I'm not sure that I would go. I'll just show you these while I'm here. I'm not sure that I would go quite as low as that, so I would like to see omega-3 a bit higher. Are there benefits? Yeah, well, you probably have a better 3-to-6 ratio because most nuts and seeds are so skewed in favour of omega-6, so much more omega-6 that you want like a decent amount of omega-3 to offset that, you know, that inflammation load, basically. So yeah, I go higher. I actually go quite a lot higher. I think I have about 4 tablespoons of chia and 3 of flax. These have to be ground. So I'm getting tons more omega-3 than that, and I take a DHA supplement just to be sure. Yeah, it's probably a lot more than you need, but being a bodybuilder, needing a lot of calories, I prefer to get more of a percentage of fats into my diet so that they're more calorific, so I don't have to stuff so much volume in my guts, which can be difficult. Scuzz, what is the best greens to put in a smoothie other than spinach? I would say not spinach because it is so high in oxalates. It's not, you know, particularly if it's not cooked. I mean, maybe like a serving, like 80, 100 grams. You know, I wouldn't go much higher than that though with the oxalates. And so because there's so many oxalates, you only actually get 5% of the calcium from spinach. So actually spinach is a pretty horrible green to put in your smoothie. Also chard and beet greens would be poor choices. But any green really other than those would be a good choice. Yeah. Kale's great. I find that raw kale gives me gut distress. So I actually, if I'm putting kale in a smoothie, I actually cook it first, believe it or not. And then I put it in. Video upload. People say you're not supposed to mix fruit in dinner. They're just morons. Don't worry about it. But I never notice anything. No, you won't. No, they're full of nonsense. There's no science. It's absolutely no. It's just they're just basically inferring things. Like there's no data to prove that that's something, and it's really not. Mecharox, lol. I'm watching this at 3 a.m. Well, you shouldn't be lolling because you're risking disease in your body. We should sleep with the circadian rhythm, and if we don't, that's not optimal for our hormones and for our longevity. So I require you to actually, no, I want you to watch. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You're doing the right thing, Macarox. Talika, why we sleep? It's the easy questions today. What is the meaning of life? Well, I don't know really. I guess like that's basically it's when we're repairing. You know, it's when we're growing muscle. It's when we clear the glymphatic system, like we get all the detritus out of the brain, which can otherwise cause dementia in later life. So I think we sleep for the purposes of replenishment and renewal. I was listening to a sleep expert and he was saying, why isn't it, why do we wake? He is saying like maybe life first evolved in like a sleep state and then became like aware of surroundings and able to move and like conscious. So it's more likely the other way around, not why do we sleep, but why do we wake up? So that's quite interesting, isn't it? Probably not we, like early life really he's talking about. But he thinks that sleep, like unconsciousness, was probably the original state of you know, animal life. Well, not animal life, but cell life, I suppose, that evolved into animals. Cool graffiti, future dishwasher. Vegan street cats and dogs are vegan diet. Do they? No, they are carnivores. Oh, are they? I thought that dogs were facultative omnivores. Vegans don't care whether or not humans are proven carnivore, don't they? Thanks for telling me what I do. You're completely wrong, D1. What a buffoon. Non-vegans pay for animals to get stabbed in the neck unnecessarily like a bunch of a-holes. So what you got to say about that? Roger Yates in the house, how you doing? Steve Townshend, what is your target protein intake per day? So I'm doing a recomp, so I'm shooting for 2 grams per kilo of leanish body weight, which is about 220, something like that, 200, 220. For a lean athlete, not bodybuilder, like runner or rock climber who wants to... not what's my target, should be another person's target who wants to stay light and lean, but be strong. Do you know, I don't really know. I've not actually had to ever consider this before. I would do like I would go to Academy of Sports Nutrition. I would go to the Academy of Sports Medicine, and I would try to find some data on there, because I don't actually have a good answer. It's not going to be anything like a bodybuilder though, is it? Not going to be anything like a bodybuilder. Morning. We're good, thank you. Top of the munch. Did you see the new Bond film, No Time to Die? No, I would like to though. I hear it's very good, isn't it? Is it Craig Daniels, the actor? It's his last one, isn't it? Becomes vegan in the next film, never wear leather again. Very good. Very good. Jotaro, can you eat more omega-3 than 6? I guess so. I can't see why not. But as long as you're getting your minimum of like 6, which we don't actually really know. To be honest, like, you're probably fine on half the RDA. Don't take my word for that. But I certainly wouldn't be concerned for myself. But yeah, I don't think omega-3 really is a concern. Hardly hair. I don't worry about the omega levels. Well, you should. It's one of the things for good health is to get adequate omega-3 and 6 and to have them in balance. If you don't, you are looking at disease over time, or certainly like not feeling your best. Certainly diseased with deficiency. But anyway, each to their own. JB, a few years back I was getting slightly potty worrying about nutrition. To be honest, it began to kill veganism for me, so I tuned out and just focused on B12 and D3. Sleep equals defragging the hard drive. Yeah, I think that's a good way of looking at it. Yeah, so B12 and D3 are obviously essential, but all vitamins and minerals are essential, and essential fatty acids are essential, and it is important to have them in balance for health as well. But I don't worry about it. I just know, I eat about 5 lots of ground flax, ground chia, like this is tablespoons, and I eat about 4 tablespoons of other nuts and seeds twice a day. That's the extent that I worry about my 3 and 6 ratio. Do you know what I mean? I've already done the calculation, and now I know, I just have 5 of them and 8 of them, and like, it's going to be in a healthy balance, Shasta Balagal. Hi from Tasmania. Down in Tasmania. We need you. Hey, Taz. How are you doing? How's the vegan scene in Tasmania? And welcome to the stream. Thanks for joining. Are you Australians are my 3rd biggest following, so I really appreciate you. Talika, I just want to tell you how the book was called you were talking about. I just want to tell you how the book was called you were talking about. Great book. Thanks. Scuzz, so high ratio of omega-3 to 6 is fine, or should I put... No, it doesn't have to be in a 4-to-1 ratio. You mustn't be more than about a 3 or 4-to-1 ratio in favour of omega-6. That's the thing. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if there's an upper safe daily limit for omega-3, but I wouldn't. It's not something I'd be worrying about. Can I feel omega-6? Yeah. So you do want to absorb adequate omega-6, and elongase, the enzyme that changes the short chain version into the long chain version, like EPA, DHA, and for omega-6, like up ultimately into arachidonic acid, AA. It has a 4-to-1 affinity with omega-3. So if you ate 4-to-1 of 6-to-3, you would actually have equal amounts of the long chain versions. So yeah, you could... I guess it depends on your totals. You could potentially use the elongase enzyme up Could you, if you're not careful, if you had so much 6, but it has a better affinity? I don't really know. Yeah, you've called it into question a little bit. I certainly wouldn't go too mental based off of that. I wouldn't do like 100 times the omega-3 to 1 part like omega-6. And even if it's adequate omega-6, I wouldn't go 100 times more because, yeah, it's got more of an affinity. So the elongase enzyme could get used up and then you could have no arachidonic acid. So, yeah, you probably don't want to go too mental. How much of this enzyme is there and how much long chain can you create in a day? I don't know. I've never seen any science on this or anyone talking about it before. So that might be one for Dr. Gregor on one of his phone-ins. Marcus, what up? Shelley's in the house. Hello. Have you watched the new documentary, Eating Away to Extinction? No, that's a bit of a sore point. We got invited to the premiere and like a green carpet event it was called, but we couldn't make it. We were really gutted. TV upload, what do you eat for selenium? Whole plant foods in general, but the most selenium rich food of course is Brazil nuts. You only need like 1 a day and you've smashed your total. For most people, if you're eating like only a low or moderate amount of cows and you don't have a Brazil nut, many people on a plant-based diet would possibly come under. So I would say add in at least 1 Brazil nut. You don't want too many. 4 is the safe tolerable upper daily limit for selenium for most people. So you can eat like a toxic amount if you're not careful. Shasta Bella Girl, thanks for the shout out. You're welcome. Love watching your videos. Thank you. The vegan scene is continuously growing. It's good, isn't it? It's good. It's exciting. How long have I been streaming for, guys? Do you go? Oh, it's an hour. Yeah, I can just see him there. It's an hour. I should probably go and do some other things, really. I'll try and answer these questions quickly. Riley Rue, have a friend who's female, over 50, struggling with excess weight. Any tips on Shira? Tell her to eat whole foods, plant-based, legumes, whole grains, fruits and vegetables, a little nuts and seeds. The Bright study out of New Zealand at the end of 2016 showed that people eating ad libitum, as much as they want of these foods, actually lost on average a pound of fat a week. So it's effortless fat loss. And their blood pressure, their cholesterol, their triglyceride levels all came down to within the safe ranges. So, yeah, whole foods, plant-based diet. Look that up. What are the best nuts to eat? Video upload. Any of them are great. There's a lot of data to suggest walnuts are best. That data was funded by the California Walnut Institute, so you should probably take that with a pinch of salt. But they're probably all good. Robbie, I've been eating whole foods plant-based for 7 months. Blood test results really good. Having my phosphorus levels are below recommended. What foods could to get more phosphorus? I don't know. I mean, when I design a nutrition plan for people, or when I used to, when I was a nutritionist, phosphorus, like most nutrients, were not of concern. I used to get like at least 100%, but normally more like 150 up to 700%. So I don't really know. What I would say is just run a Google search, plant sources of phosphorus, but when I did 1750 calories, so for a woman on a cut, all I can tell you is we smashed all those nutrients without trying. And basically I was prescribing, the range of whole plant food. So adequate calories, and then legumes, whole grains, fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, herbs and spices. It just wasn't of concern. So but you're saying you're eating whole foods plant-based. That's interesting. Yeah, plug your foods into like Chronometer, see which ones are highest in phosphorus. Perhaps like emphasize those a bit more, or just do a Google search. I'm sorry I don't have a good answer for you. Ryan Plummer, thoughts on Dave Asprey? I think the guy's a moron. Putting like butter or coconut oil in your coffee, which will give you heart disease, our #1 killer. Yeah, ridiculous. Stupid man. Jotaro, started eating oat groats, feels completely different to porridge. I never tried it. I should give that a try. It sounds good. Oh, hi. There's a little dog-a-log. Mike, hope you're having a good day. You are a nice person. And you're nice too. You have a great day. Thanks, Rawley Roo, and thank you for joining. And guys, what is the healthiest omega-6 food you know of? I want to add a little more omega-6 on my smoothie. Well, possibly walnuts. I mean, they have omega-6. They have a good amount of omega-3 as well, in about the right ratios. Supposedly, they're the most antioxidant-rich nut. I think they're alkalizing. There's a few ways in which supposedly walnuts are best. But as I said, all the data is funded by the California Walnut Institute, so it could be like biased. Anyway, guys, I better go and do something else. Thanks, moderators, for keeping us troll-free. We'll be back tomorrow. Oh, I'm back tonight. Vegan Mooncat's channel. Go to Vegan Mooncat right now. And he's got a stream at 6 o'clock with me and some other YouTubers. We're discussing anti-vegans, I think, and ex-vegans. And then me and Jen will be on tomorrow, 7 p.m. Thanks so much for hanging out. I love you very much, guys. And have an awesome rest of your day. Bye for now.